Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to join all of you here today at CloudAsia 2012. I'm sure, like Chairman Alan Koh has said, many of you are not here for the first time. You've been here before. And as a matter of fact, I understand that CloudAsia is the third time it's being held, and before that, its predecessor, CloudAsia, was held for 5 times. So really, this is the 8th conference over the past decade. So good to see so many of you here today. Today, the demand for cloud services in Singapore is strong, with cloud service providers counting individuals as well as companies of all sizes as their clients. According to the Singapore Cloud Adoption Study commissioned by IDA in April 2012, Singapore continues to maintain its leading market position in ASEAN in terms of cloud adoption and maturity. Results of the study show that Singapore is ranked third after Australia and Japan in terms of cloud adoption in the Asia-Pacific region. The study showed that Singapore is an emerging regional data center hub for both public and private cloud solutions. This cloud infrastructure readiness complemented by initiatives such as the Next Generation Nationwide Broadband Network. It indicated that 50% of businesses with internet connection have already adopted software as a service of SaaS. The projection is that market adoption of SaaS is to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 20%, with 1/3 of all businesses in Singapore adopting SaaS by 2015. On the other hand, infrastructure as a service adoption is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of about 21%, led mainly by medium and large businesses. The government adopts a multi-pronged approach to cloud computing by leveraging on commercially available public clouds, as well as implementing a private government cloud, the G-Cloud, for whole of government use. Besides providing efficient, scalable, and resilient cloud computing resources, G-Cloud generates cost savings by enabling standardization and sharing of computing resources and applications at a whole of government level. To implement the G-Cloud, the government called for a tender to provide cloud computing resources to the whole of government to address the different levels of security and governance requirements. I'm pleased to announce the award of the G-Cloud tender to Singtel for a period of 5 years with the option to extend for another 5 years. G-Cloud is scheduled to be ready for deployment by end of 2012. Through G-Cloud, government agencies can procure cloud services easily to deliver government services securely and quickly on demand, scaling up and down rapidly to cater to changing workloads, resulting in increased agility. It will be a platform for innovation where agencies can leverage on the G-Cloud as a test bed to pilot new and innovative applications for a small group of users without upfront cost and asset ownership. For easy procurement of public cloud services, IDA has also put in place a cloud services bulk tender. Many users include the Ministry of Health, National Environment Agency, National Library Board, and Urban Redevelopment Authority. Through this arrangement, public cloud service providers are qualified for use by ministries and government agencies. When the first cloud services bulk tender was called, a total of 4 public cloud service providers were awarded in March 2010 for a period of 2 years. In December 2011, another bulk tender was called to tap on the offerings of new public cloud service providers. 6 public cloud service providers have been awarded the bulk tender for a period of 2 years with the option to extend for another year. They are Access with Microsoft Asia, Crimson Logic with ClearManage, New Media Express, PDC, Singtel, and StarHub. A second period bulk tender initiative, known as Envision, was established for the supply of cloud-based video hosting and streaming services using the utility pricing model to ministries, state boards, organ of state, and participating entities. Currently, there are a total of 20 government agencies using Envision for their corporate events, public education, and information. In addition, 3 schools, namely Raffles Girls' School Secondary, St. Joseph's Institution, and St. Nicholas Girls' School, have also been using Envision. They have tapped on it for their communications with parents of current and prospective students, as well as their alumni. Videos on wide-ranging topics such as schools events, achievements, performances, and overseas trips are available on their video sites. To encourage greater adoption by schools, I am happy to announce that IDA and Envision providers will provide the support scheme for schools to develop their own video sites. Under this arrangement, each school can enjoy up to 6 months worth of cloud resources kept at $1,300, while they need to pay for only 50% of the network bandwidth consumed. Since 2010, IDA has launched 4 calls for cloud computing proposals to promote cloud adoption. Depending on the impact and scope of their proposed projects, industry, government, and R&D communities can receive support for compute and storage resources. The 4 calls have seen 57 projects awarded cloud resources to undertake test bidding, proof of concept, and research. Some of the awardees include the Building and Construction Authority, Institute for Infocom Research, iTwin, Inc., and M9 Tech Solutions. I'm pleased to announce that IDA is launching the 5th call for cloud computing proposals today. In call 5, we are also supporting big data projects. Revolution Analytics will provide both expertise in advanced analytics software, Revolution R, to enable participants of call 5 to work on and solve big data problems. Such support will be available for both Hadoop and HPC cloud platforms running on the Electrum cloud infrastructure. Creating mass-reduced jobs in Hadoop can be challenging for non-Hadoop programmers. For users with little knowledge of Hadoop, HP Lab Singapore provides Bamboo, an advanced platform that allows a guided and visual approach to big data processing without a steep learning curve. More details and information will be featured on the IDA website, and I invite interested industry members to apply. IDA supports efforts to convert existing software operating on the traditional upfront software licensing model to one that is cloud-based or the utility pricing model. The 3rd Infocom Industry Forum held on the 25th of October last year, I shared that IDA had established a SaaS Enablement Program, or SEP. Under this program, funding support will be provided for manpower, professional services, and training expenses in relation to SaaS enablement efforts. I'm pleased to announce a call for applications under the SEP for Building Information Modeling, or BIM, and related software for the architecture, engineering, and construction community. The SaaS enablement of BIM software is aligned to the BCA's BIM adoption roadmap, as BCA has mandated e-submission of all building plans by 2015. SaaS-enabled BIM software will lower the barriers for BIM software adoption, as it is made available to users on a subscription basis. To encourage increased adoption of cloud computing is now also allowed under the Productivity and Innovation Credit, or PIC scheme, where the first $400,000 in costs incurred to acquire cloud computing resources would qualify for a 400% tax deduction. Businesses can make full use of the PIC scheme to invest in productivity and innovation. To increase confidence and awareness in cloud computing adoption and share information on various cloud applications, a series of 10 public talks on cloud computing was conducted from March 2011 to January 2012. These talks were co-organized by IDA, the National Library Board, Singapore Computer Society, and Imperial College Alumni Association Singapore to promote awareness, education, and discussion of cloud computing. One of the challenges to cloud computing adoption is security. There are many reasons for cloud security concerns, ranging from lack of understanding to unavailable clear guidelines and standards. These concerns are compounded by extensive variations of cloud service offerings for different user groups and industry verticals. However, cloud security is not an insurmountable obstacle and can be addressed through a multi-pronged holistic approach to some key considerations. Technology is the first consideration, where there is a need to consider the risks associated with the introduction of new technologies such as virtualization. A concerted effort among research institutes, industry vendors, and practitioners is required to devise new management protocols, tools, and processes to mitigate the associated risks. Secondly, greater awareness of the security issues surrounding cloud computing is needed. This can be enhanced through various channels such as seminars, workshops, and conferences. Thirdly, a classification scheme for organizations needs to be created to identify the security management requirements of various information systems in the company. This allows every system to have a class or level of security that is unambiguously defined, such that cloud users will be able to clearly identify and categorize its security needs. To facilitate the creation of a classification scheme, there needs to be a wider promulgation of cloud security standards and guidelines among cloud security providers. One way to do so is to introduce certification for the cloud service providers, similar to the ISO 27001 certification for information security management system. Fourthly, for regulated industries or sectors of the economy, it may be necessary to establish relevant policies and regulatory frameworks to govern the use and provisioning of cloud services to ensure some minimum level of compliance. Last year, at the opening of CloudAsia, we announced a joint effort between IDA and Singapore's Information Technology Standards Committee, or ITSC, to establish a cloud computing standards coordinating task force in February 2011. The task force comprises representatives from IDA, ITSC, Singapore Computer Society, Singapore Infocom Technology Federation, or SITF, the Information Technology Management Association, or ITMA, as well as industry verticals work on guidelines for issues with inputs from the industry. The first working group under the task force developed a technical reference, or TR document, on guidelines, best practices for virtualization security, and highlights the key security risks associated with the use of virtualization technologies, potential impact, and proposes possible mitigating controls. The second working group focused on providing guidelines pertaining to cloud security and service level for public cloud service users. I'm pleased to share that both TR documents were completed 2 months ago in March and are available to the public. Attendees of CloudAsia can enjoy a 50% discount off the purchase price of these TR documents for a limited period. It was also announced last year that IDA was partnering with the Agency for Science, Technology and Research, or ASTAR, on a technology evaluation program. The program enables companies who develop cloud computing solutions based on technologies made available by the Institute for Infocom Research, or I2R, and Exploit Technologies Private Limited, through a short-term, no-evaluation license grant that also gives these companies an option to take on a commercial license if their cloud deployment proves to be successful and of value. Arising from this partnership, I2R and IDA will jointly identify end-user challenges and requirements for industry and government sectors. IDA solicits projects through its cloud computing call for proposals and makes available cloud resources to support project developments with I2R technologies, thereby facilitating research and developing outcomes into viable solutions through its innovation programs. Today, 2 companies, namely Evo Media and RichQ IT Solutions, have benefited from this partnership. RichQ uses technologies from ASR to develop cloud-based business solutions in the digital asset management domain. Evo Media is developing a cloud-based technology that searches large quantities of video based on the actual content in the video, rather than the description of the video content. Our local Infocom companies will need to make the best use of their available resources for continued growth. Cloud represents a great opportunity for our companies, even small ones, to significantly improve labor productivity and competitiveness by enabling them to serve global customers out of Singapore. A key strategy in the Infocom industry productivity roadmap that was announced in March was to help our local Infocom companies embrace more productive business models such as cloud. As part of the roadmap, I'm pleased to announce that IDA, in partnership with the Workforce Development Agency and SITF, will be putting in place a series of specialized master classes and courses to equip our companies with the necessary skills to transit to more productive business models. One such skill identified is software product management, the management of the software product lifecycle from planning and conceptualization to launch and retirement. The first software product management masterclass and course will be conducted in June by the 280 Group, a well-known Silicon Valley product management consultancy firm. You may find out more about the masterclass and course from SITF. The cloud event today is the second to be organized through a partnership between IDA and Informal Telecoms and Media Asia. We thank you for your attendance and continued support. I'm pleased today to also launch the second edition of the Cloud Computing in Singapore booklet. Apart from relevant information on cloud computing, the booklet also contains more case studies on organizations from both public and private sectors that are already on cloud computing. Copies of the booklet are available to all attendees today. So on that note, I wish one and all an enjoyable and fruitful time here at CloudAsia 2012. Thank you.